So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. You're all so welcome. I'm here today to talk about rewiring our nervous system, and particularly rewiring our nervous system out of what is known as the dorsal vagal. So the dorsal vagal is when we go into the shutdown, when we go into the freeze, when we just feel immobilized and we have we've no juice to do anything, we've no motivation, nothing is getting us moving or stirring. And it's really hard to get out of those places because when you don't have motivation, everything in you is saying, nah, don't want it, don't want it, don't want it. So even when something good and nourishing is offered to you, the resistance comes up really strongly. And I was working with a client during the week, and she was very much in this state, and for good reason, as in her protective anxiety in a way was saying, no, stay still, stay small. She was working in a team that wasn't really appreciating her, and she felt very unseen, very unheard, and her response, and this is a very protective, it's an evolutionary response, was to curl in. And of course, when that happens, we stop breathing, which means that our frontal brain has closed down. And that means that we can't think clearly. Our language centers go offline, we get all fuzzy, we get foggy, and very disorientated. We can't find our ground. Really painful place to be. And what we worked with was, first of all, not even trying to get past that place, but it was inquiring, well, what does this place actually need? And very often these places need safety, first of all. That's the first and most potent thing that we can offer them. But if our outer environment is not feeling safe, how can we create an inner environment that actually feels safe? And so what I had her do, and I do this with my clients a lot, come back to their senses. So instead of the mind that's spinning and the survival brain that's kind of pumping out messages to be on alert, we've got to look to say, well, in this moment, in this place, and that's what I had my client do. It was to look around the room first of all, and just to notice what actually looks pleasing to me, what kind of lands with me in a way that, I don't actually feel any threat. And one way that I use for myself and for clients that work with me, it's to orientate towards nature. And you'll always see me surrounded in nature, on all my videos. And there's a reason for that. And I do it online as well. And, a lot of my clients will say, oh, that makes me calm. That makes me feel I can settle. Now, their conscious brain isn't kind of going like that. It's their unconscious, so it's these unconscious cues that we're picking up from our environment. But we want to notice, because even though they're unconscious, we also, something begins to change in our physiology, in our biology. So just take a moment, and even in the space that you're in, or if you want to, just look around the room that you are in. If you're out in nature, look at the trees, feel how they move. You might even hear the wind in the trees. It might be something else that catches your attention. It might be a young child kind of playing outside with lots of joy, and you hear the laughter. That's the way we come back to our senses. We notice, okay, what else is my environment kind of offering me? So as I say, my client, her name was Mary, and she was in an environment where she wasn't receiving any how would I say, positive reinforcement. And we worked on this for a while in our one-to-one sessions, and we got to uncover the kind of the beliefs that was, how would I say, that was being triggered in her. So, but she could only do that when she felt safe. So she started to actually bring in plants and things that reminded her of safety. She brought in photos of her family, for instance. Just little things. And if you don't have space to do that in your workspace or your home space, have it on your computer, like your home screen, so that you have these images that can remind you. So just go back a little bit. That's one way that you can start to feel safe. The other way that you can start to feel safe is actually by making physical contact with your body. So here I am just making a very, very small movement. It's a squeezing movement. And, you know, for those of us who do get very foggy, who do go into that dorsal vagal, just that gentle squeeze can give the input into the body. It's not the mind, it's into the body. Here I am. Okay, I can feel that. Because you'll notice when you're in the freeze, in the fog, you can't feel anything. So, up and down the arms. You can have different pressure to feel what feels good for you. And then come back down. The wringing of the hands, the wringing, the squeezing, this kind of grounding. Rubbing the hands creates a different sensation. It creates heat in the body. So that can be really good. You can also, when you've got a little bit of heat, a little bit of circulation, stretch up the thighs. So you can hear that ring. Again, it brings in energy. It brings in different information. And that's what we want to do in a body that's shut down. So this is different information. Do it around your lower back. All those muscles and nerves there that have gone into some kind of bracing. Gently around the ribs. And as I go gently around the ribs, I notice my breath comes in a little bit more. And that's what we want to happen. Because when the breath comes in, it's giving a different message. Calms down the survival brain. Begins to bring the frontal brain back online. So you can play around the tapping, the squeezing, the brushing, and then the ringing. I like that too. And just to know as you go up and down the arms are connected with the heart. And of course in our Vegas reset, we talk about that a lot. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to reconnect the heart with the body, with a sense of safety. And then you can just use the hands just to brush down. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, it's okay. And it's these inner messages now as we start to slow down. Just find an inner message for that part that's feeling a little uneasy. So you might want to just take your hand onto your heart. Close your eyes for this part. I like to just rock back and forth just to feel the sensations in my body once again. And as I come back into my heart, I notice a slight kind of contraction of the breath. And I just drop in, I just acknowledge that part. I see you. I see you, I hear you. I'm with you. Sometimes just these simple words can be enough. I see you. I hear you. I'm with you. Just letting those words kind of sink into our hearts, into our nervous systems. I see you. What happens when that part that's a little bit anxious? Notice how those words are received. I hear you. I'm with you. You can continue just feeling, nourishing yourself with these words, or whatever words that kind of arise for you. But for now, maybe just brushing over the chest again, just once again. It's that reassurance, that softening. So thank you all for being with me. And you know, it's not a one-off practice. It's a practice that we need to do again and again. And I'm going to be here with you. And I'm going to be continuing just to send these videos to you so that you can do them along with me. So take care for now, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.